Hi, Game Design Ed here again with a pre-release version of National Geographic Puzzle Explorer. Sometimes I make what I think are great puzzles that will trick the player, but then the player just goes an entirely different way that I didn't see. A puzzle that I thought was really challenging turns out to be really easy when I have someone playtest it. You'll remember from a previous video that we made this puzzle to trick the player. However, in that video we never got around to testing whether or not this puzzle could be completed in a different way. So let's playtest this puzzle. Let's try other ways to go and see if we can complete the puzzle by taking a different path. So let's do a quick walkthrough of this puzzle. I start out with you facing a camera, and it's right there. You could just reach out and grab it, but it's over thin ice, and if you break that thin ice, you can't come back, and therefore you can't complete the puzzle. So you make the snow bridges, and you get this camera, the one that's farthest away. In this puzzle, I try to tempt you with cameras that are right next to you. You could just grab them, but if you did grab them, you would break the thin ice, and the puzzle would not be able to be completed. So then we go down to the bottom, we make this snow ice bridge, and we can get this final camera. And you've noticed that I have not broken any of the thin ice. So I'm tempting you with your efficiency, trying to get you to go for the camera that's easiest to get right now, when in fact you have to go for the more difficult ones. So let's try playing it in a different way. Let's go toward this camera first, and see if we can go across this way and get the cameras. Alright, that way didn't work. So let's try a different way. Let's push out the snow bridges and go and get the camera on the left first. No, here's the way. We don't even have to do the bottom bridges. We can go up and around, and therefore we cut off that whole part of the map. Since we've added the thin ice between cameras 1 and 3, the two cameras on the right, now the player doesn't even have to do the bottom bridge anymore, and our sequence is gone as well. We can get camera 2 on the left side of the screen first, camera 1 on the right side of the screen we can get second, and camera 3 we still get third. So let's think about how we can block this possible path. We want only one possible path, so the player has to follow the path and the sequence we want them to. Let's try adding some water here and a snowball so the player can only build a snow bridge if they're coming from a certain direction, if they're coming from the bottom left of the screen in this case. Let's test it and see if the player can still complete the puzzle if they go this way, the way that we don't want them to go. They can get all the cameras in a different order, but they get stuck at the bottom now and can't get to the compass. Now let's try it following the path we want them to follow. And there we have it. This is the iterative cycle. In the game design process, the game designer builds a prototype, something we've done several times in this video and the video before. Then they playtest the prototype, which we've done several times in this video and the video before. They playtest the prototype looking for feedback to find ways in which the game could be changed, improved, or fixed. Then the game designer takes that feedback and iterates, which we've also done several times in this video and the video before. That is, the game designer makes changes to the prototype based on the feedback they've received from playtesting the prototype. Puzzle Explorer is a great tool to teach rapid prototyping and iteration because it makes it so easy to prototype, playtest, and iterate on your puzzles.